What's going on, everybody? It's the Nomtombout radio show. I am Vibe One, and today Blaze 6 is behind the camera, so you're not seeing him, but you may hear him chime in or something like that while we're going. But like I always got to do every show, peace of love to the KY side, Covington, Newport, Erlanger, Florence, Burlington, Campbell County, Bellevue, Dayton, all surrounding areas. Shout out, peace and love to the Natty. Today, we got a special guest to me because as we get into this interview, you're gonna find out a lot of things that the gentleman that we have on the show today, where we connect at, how long we've been dealing with each other, things he's got going on right now, things he's had going on for a while. So we're gonna get into that. But before all of that, I want to introduce y'all. Let him introduce himself. Tell him your name and who you are, bro.
Peace. Basil Lewis, out of Covington, Kentucky. As he said, COV. And it's like my little brother right here. We got history. A lot of history. Legendary effects and then some.
No doubt. And where we are today is we're in Covington, of course, West 10th Street. We're on the court now. It's called George Stone basketball court. It used to just be called the 10th Street basketball court, you know what I mean? So this court that we own, it looks a lot different from back in the day, but it's a lot of legendary hoopers that came over here and played on Saturdays and Sundays, you know, people that were in college, people that were in pro, coming here, to hoop, people from UC, Xavier, all that type of stuff back in the day. But how I'm gonna start this one out today, just the connection between this gentleman and myself. Everybody knows that I do music. Everybody knows, if you've been paying attention to, that both of us do music, Blaze and myself. And I always had I got like a storied hoop basketball history over here as well. Basketball, dancing, rapping, jumping off people's buildings onto their cars, all that crazy kind of stuff happened over here on this side of Covington for me at a young age. Being called the N-word all the way far west Covington, you know what I'm saying, at the park, having to fight our way back to get to, to like, this is like the common ground where we, could be chilling and not have no problems and stuff like that. But, so I said, I wasn't, hoop was a big thing for me. The first person to teach me any type of basketball terminology, basketball skills, the rules, is this man right here, Basil. All right, we had to change the rain. The rain was coming down, man, about to blow us off the court. So we back. Go ahead and let you finish what you were saying, Basil.
Yeah, like I said, as far as like ball on the court, he was talking about me teaching him. Well, it was the older guys that taught me. You know what I'm saying? And I was like him, thirsty, whatever. But see, when I was 14, I used to knock on the door and get his dad. His dad used to play me one-on-one all the time. So he was one of the mentors, his older guys, who was getting me ready down there at 14. And you know what I'm saying? So that's how I started getting advanced. I go get him knocking on his door.
And then so when he gave me the name, so soon after the X, I dropped the X. I was like, because we already had X. Right. Everybody know X from the Watusi tribe. I met him first, and they were already home. When X and them came up from Louisiana in 1980, he was one of their first friends or whatever. So, and they all played ball. So it was Basil, X, and Swing. Is always the ones I looked up to when I watched them play ball or whatever, because they had the hops. So I was working on my hops. 8th grade. By the time I get to 8th grade, then I'm up on the rim. So when we wasn't allowed to play with them, because we was called the Bugs, they would call us the Bugs. Y'all Bugs, get off the court, we about to run. While they down there, or to stop ball down to the other court, I'm throwing myself oops from half court, going up there and getting that thing.
How much? Yeah. What's the age difference? How much older are you?
Basil is like 7 years older than me.
Yeah.
I'll be 48.
And that's kind of where you got your start in basketball?
Yeah.
Kind of talk about what got you into the hoop.
Shoot, my favorite sport was football. Actually, I wanted to be wide receiver, so the reason why I became a Cowboys fan, because I wanted to be like Drew Pearson. And then, remember when you was younger though, you know. But when Daryl Sting got paralyzed, that's when I kind of I backed up.
So you was a pretty good ball player the whole time growing up?
Yeah, I was.
The whole connection with all of us, the center thing was hoop.
Okay.
Hoop, because like I said, you know, they had hops. So, and I always was somebody who wanted, you know, I was infatuated with dunking, but I was like, dang, I ain't growing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But still, like in the 7th grade, I played point guard. I was one of the shortest ones on the team. But my hops was so good that I would do the jump ball. Instead of the center that we had, I would do the jump ball because I jump higher than everybody on the team.
Right.
So when you down here on the court on 10th Street, it's a lot of people that's just dunking. You know what I mean? Fast break, dunk. I mean, like serious, real deal stuff.
Right.
So you have to learn how to play ball. You got to deal with the psychology of it. They talking smack, all that. You got to get through the intimidation, and then
the banging.
The banging.
Yeah, because
then you got to get to the point where you're like, all right.
What's the banging?
See, now, but they ain't talking about the Last Dance, right? Okay, with the Pistons, they played dirty and you know this and that. It was no different than when we played younger. Them older dudes, you had to earn it going in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what made us tough-minded. You know what? It was okay for your older cousins. You coming in there, they hitting that, hit you. I mean, you going home, you sore.
Yeah.
You know, but what it did was
You get knocked out the air.
Yeah, you knocked out the air. You lay there, and they tell you go quit being soft.
Topsy-turvy.
You ready to fight? You ready this and that? But then respect came where you had to go back and work on your game, lifting. You know, the whole 9 yards.
What can you describe one of the games that happened down here on 10th Street that gave you that edge that like you learned something different about yourself that day or?
Yeah, you know, we as older guys, my father and his friends, they would be right there. And a couple of them played ball. One was driving to the Bulls, Jackie Herndon. And him and his brother Larry was working with me on shot, but they always kept saying when they played with us, they would rough us up, quit crying. Like, you gonna get this, you gonna get that, like the chicken wing. Said vibes going up, and I hit him like this. So you gotta go through sit-ups. But the point what I think got me was, it really motivated me was, when you didn't get picked up, you know, the favoritism thing kicked in. Which, you know, everybody picked, and you got a long line down there. Right, because every Saturday and Sunday, high noon, there's a big clock right there. It hit 12 o'clock. That's when it started. And you hear that bell go off, right? And when you gotta wait, so like, it just depends on what it is, and you know, like, wow, come on, man. You know, I deserve to be picked up. Oh, I got him. And then guys get on the court, don't have their whole team, right? Oh, we on that? So that changed my fact, like, okay, whoever didn't pick me up, okay, we'll see when we get out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? By that time, I grew some one with vertical like 42, 44 inches, something like that. They measured me. And, you know, that's my motivation. Don't pick me up. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? When I said train down there, you know, you always put in your mind like, ain't nobody guarding you, can't nobody stop you. And the more competition I played against, I fed off that. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of cats in there, we've been cool. Like Basil said with the nucleus, and guys see today, we like brothers. You see each other. Because of the wars we've been through. We ready to fight. You don't choke each other out, but you know, love there because it's a gladiator sport. I mean, you know, and so when we did the music, we took that attitude with the music.
So when did you start? Which one started first, the music or the
basketball? As the basketball
right.
was going on, they had started all the X,
right.
everything, right? Walking around with black hats with X's on them before Pike League.
Yeah.
It's a story that go along with that.
Right.
Well, he seen it and went and ran with it, but we'll get to that later, or maybe we won't. That's just a tidbit. But from there, like he said, they went on off to college. So I'm coming up, finishing up high school. By the time I get to the 12th grade, I graduated 12th grade. Now they into music. So I'm down at X house. X playing, probably was doing a pause button mix or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah, for real.
So we down there talking. He was like, "Yo, you should join the group, join our group or whatever." And I was like,
well, he was hooping with us. That's what made me ask. Because as he got older, and I come out like, oh man, he quick, he hanging in the air. I don't care how tall he was. He was bringing it.
Yeah, well, I
but
mean,
he was always dancing
He's
and
putting spankers
all
on
that.
people a lot. During this time, putting spankers on people. But the pivotal year in terms of how I came into the group, the musical group part of it was in '91. Even before that, my older cousin Bud Wednesday was like, we was down at we had another
Hey Bud, I didn't know y'all was cousins.
Randolph. We was at Randolph Park. Historical park, another historical park in Covington or whatever.
Right.
He said, "Yo, Muslim brothers is over there on the court." I was like, "Who?" He was like, "Basil, Swing and X. They over there." I said, "Why you say?" He said, "They just took their shahada and became Muslim or whatever." So that was another thing.
Grab that for me real quick.
That was another thing that got that connected us too. But the X, as it got explained to me,
Oh, okay.
as it got explained to me, by the time I got there, they had already kind of like fully developed the concept behind it. X means the unknown.
Right.
The nation means the people. So we have the unknown nation of people, whatever. And so the whole thing was getting knowledge of self, learning, reading, learning all types of things about many different religions, and then just a spiritual base. So and then that became what the music was end up becoming the concept for us. So we had and so then we went to Columbus, and Columbus was that's why I got to the point earlier about where I got my name. Columbus was the first place where we started the music. We didn't kick off down here first. We kicked off in Columbus and had a great run in Columbus and started opening up for a lot of different people.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah,
Sure did.
so
I want to walk the line of like your life up until they stole your design. So like I'm getting because that's what happened, right?
that was before.
When did that happen?
When we was at, matter of fact, when we was X-Men, we was balling because I was a Renegade coordinator, at the time, 85. So I got X-Men working. I sent all of them off with jobs. So I'm sitting there because I was always drawing on my break. And I said, I love Nike, balling. So I took and flipped it, which is really called a 2001. So it was Tank McMillan is the one I showed because Tank was working down there. I said, Mac, what you think about this? Mac said, man.
So you were drawing shoes.
yeah.
Yeah. The customized thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, what they doing, I guess my cousin behind me said, really? He said, man, you want original customizer. I ain't looking like, think about that time, look at him and think about it. I did flip their shoe and gave my idea with Air Force One.
Take me through the whole process, how it went from the day you drew it, after everybody saw it and thought it was dope, you thought it was dope, the next thing, the step it went beyond that when you sent it to them.
So you saying that
What's going on?
how you doing? So you saying that you believe or have evidence that Nike stole a design that you created?
Yeah.
Okay, walk us through that story.
And
What I did was,
You want to have that? Because
you said it right there. Set it in
start
between
showing.
there.
He can show you them pictures and that you see
Set
it.
it right in between there, and then you can pull out what you want to pull out.
Oh, I gotta look. I'm gonna look through it. Okay.
So what it is was, I said, man, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send it off to him, of course, right? At that time I'm 18, and I'm ready to go to junior college. So then, what happened was, I went down to Eggleston Manor, asked for the address.
Eggleston Manor was a sporting goods store.
Right down,
Okay.
right here on Madison. And so I asked him and said, hey man, I need the address to Nike. He said, for what? I got this idea I want to send it. He said, oh yeah. He said, well, good luck, because they slow to get back. I said, well, if you hear something, he said, let me know. I said, all right. 2 weeks, they wrote me. Tomorrow, we like your idea, we can't use it at the moment, but we'll keep it on file. Good luck with college and the snap. So I'm like, oh, snap. I go back up there on my break. I say, hey, man, they wrote me. He was like, man, they must have really liked your stuff. So then in '86, I touched back with them, right? They wrote me again. We got your stuff on file. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Lewis, and good luck at Cincinnati Tech College. That's where I was supposed to go, but then I did my stuff at the last minute.
And this is the original that you drew. Show that to the camera.
So, '87 is when I was recruited up to Maryland Eastern Shore. And that's when I seen the Arab Revolution up there. So, I'm looking like, oh man, them tight. We gonna wear them next year because I was red shirt up there, and man, I'm looking at that. Yo, man, that's my shoe. They like, come on, KY, Dink, come on. My nickname Dink. They say you tripping. Nah, man, I still got all the stuff.
And this is what
This before they ever start
Now
putting
that right there,
up.
is what, see that? No, get the gun, put your finger on the top. Get on top. Now,
Hey, babe.
yeah.
Your mom is nice.
Okay, do this interview.
Oh, okay. I know.
Yeah. This right here, you remember that?
Yeah.
That is what all started from right here.
No, that's the thing.
That's this shoe on here.
Can you walk up on the camera? Oh,
Yeah.
let's see, bring it back a little bit. So this is the picture. This is the picture that started it all.
Yeah, this right
Or
here.
the design started first and then you drew.
Yeah, that's me right there dunking, Elliot Ness. A little violent though, but hey, you right
Yeah.
there on the court. That's what it's similar.
So which one came first? That?
This wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I put these shoes on them.
Okay.
Okay.
So
All right. Now,
now
okay.
the original is right. I mean, not that is original, but what came out later on, 2 years later, right? Now I redid that. That's and get graded underneath. Grade those two right there. Isn't that right there? There you go. You got it. This is the update version. Hey, we over here in our hometown, so little love going by.
Conversation is high. How you doing?
That's
All that.
right there was Flip.
Come closer.
Yeah, can you come closer? Keep it there. Bring it down a little bit. Come closer. And walk straight into it. Yep. Up a little bit. Yeah. But this is the 2001, and explain what we're looking at right here.
Okay, now
This is what Nike ended up coming out with.
See, it's got a glare on it. But this is what Nike ended up.
Air Revolution.
Do you see the similarities? Let me see that one again. And this is the design that he says Nike
there's a
took. This was
picture-
before they
there's a-
had straps.
Yeah. There's a picture of Chuck Person in there, right? Okay, it's in the front of this shoe, right? This right here, right there, right? You look in there. I'll help you out. Matter of fact, I'll do it better like this.
Okay, and then I can walk it up. Yeah.
Right. Now just give it the vibe.
Okay.
Yes. Wow, you touch it up. Now, Vaughn, take this. Well, let me get that laminated. That right.
What year is this that you're drawing this?
85.
85. So you drew this in 85.
Now see the similarity between that right here and that up there.
This part.
It's got a little glare on it. I can bring it a little closer. But this is what we're looking at right here.
Right, see that top piece right there? With Chuck pressing the top and then the one up the top. See, now that's one of the similarities right there.
And that's Chuck Persons.
That's the Air Revolutions he wearing.
Okay.
Now, what they did was, on the,
All they did was just
they
minus
flipped
the
it.
strap.
Right. And what they did was, they took, they left this part, but they shortened it. They took this idea here and came with that. See that this right here, see right, they widened that.
Yeah.
And then that idea gave them, for the console, they put the air bubble in there. And then they raised this part up here and put it right there.
Was this
which
before
came
Air
right
Force
there.
Ones?
They were the Air Force One, I flipped them.
Okay, you
Yeah,
flipped
Air
it from an Air
Force
Force
One
One.
already,
Because
right.
that's the design that they look like.
Right. Yeah, so it's the Air Force One that was flipped. And gave them an idea to take the Air Force One, combine it to 2001 to Air Revolution.
Let me see those. I'll bring them up on the camera.
Yeah.
And give a little bit, you can keep giving backstories.
Yeah, so Tinker Hatfield, I've been hearing a lot about him lately. And talking about, well, he came up with the idea in 84, right? Okay, if you came up with the air bubble in 84, okay, that's cool. What's it got to do with me sending you an idea in 85 and say, okay, he owns something, right? Let's combine what he got to what we got You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 2 years later, here comes the Arab Revolution. Now this right here, sent straight from Nike. Ain't nobody got this. It's an 86 catalog. Won't be 86 letter.
And this is another picture of the shoe.
No, that's the catalog.
That's
they
the
sent me.
catalog.
Yeah,
This is the Nike catalog.
Right.
They sent you this with the letter they sent?
yeah, for the 86 letter, right.
And so they sent you this along with a response.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this is the catalog.
86.
And you can see
This is what they
86
sent me,
catalog.
where one letter, right here they said, this is their thing, they said to me, right? Saying that my shoe looked like a downhill ski boot, right?
Oh yeah.
But what they say about their stuff,
They say the same thing.
right? You get that
So
letter.
a knock that they said of his was it looked like a ski boot, but then in the description of the shoe that they actually ended up coming out, you see that they say ski boot, resemblance of a ski boot.
Okay, and that's there right there.
Right.
You see the picture of it first? This is the shoe that Nike took the Air Revolution. When they responded to his letter, they said that his shoe looked like a downhill ski boot. And here in their description, it says, full speed demands that basketball shoes have a cushioning of a running shoe with the stability of a downhill ski boot.
And that's what they sent me. That's that little printout.
They sent you this printout. So to add insult to injury, they sent you
Right.
a
If
picture.
you ain't did nothing, why you send all this? This is a throwback.
It's almost proof at this point that it
You know what?
existed.
You know what? Now that I look back, cause see, when we were later on in the years, like I said, into the 90s now, by that time we perceived Nike as this big company. But when you watch the story of how they started the Jordan, not even the Last Dance, another documentary on Netflix about the Jordan shoe, you realize they were broke.
Yeah, they were
They
trying
was
to.
broke around that time you did that.
Right.
They definitely wasn't gonna be trying to come off no money because they had really none themselves. They was like on their last, what's the name of Mike, the Jordan shoe saved them. And he came into the league in '84.
The Jordan shoe and Arab Revolution put them on a whole nother map.
Yeah, Air Revolution came out. Yeah,
And
the
then
next
Arab
thing after the
Revolution
Jordan
just
shoe.
elevated shoes to the day with the air bubble, the cushion, that whole different dynamic look. You know what I'm saying?
And what year is this again?
This was 80. This came out. The idea was done 85. The shoe didn't come out to 87.
Okay.
This is some print up. What year was this? That
So-
was '93.
That's
Kentucky.
you remember that? The
Yeah.
tape came out the same
want
day.
Kentucky
Our
Post.
tapes came out. The X Nation tapes came out the same day as that article.
Really?
It was
And
front-
in this article,
it was
what's
front-
happening?
It was front page.
So what happened on this front page
They
article?
was interviewing me about Kentucky Post interviewed me about the Nike story.
Okay, and
So
tell us a
we-
little bit about that.
Right. So when that is pretty much right in here, where it says whose shoes. Now in Kentucky Post, it goes that even though the shoe bears an overall similarity, but they are not so much different in design. The 2001 concept, it appears to be more like a ski boot rather than a basketball shoe, is what we were saying, right? But Nike admits they did not follow standard procedures requiring sign a non-confidential agreement with me. You know what I'm saying? So this is why.
So they refused to sign a non-confidentiality.
Well, they made a mistake not doing it.
Okay.
See, what they did was they didn't think that I was gonna keep all the evidence, or I think somebody slipped because everybody that corresponded with me, the 85 and 86, they were no letter along with the company. They changed corporate counsel who was contacting me, and all the way up to the latest with a lady in 2012 who said, okay, well, contact us, let's see what we missed or whatever. I called up there, said to get back. I get about a few weeks or so. She no longer with the company. So everybody seemed like they was touching bases with me. It's moved out the way.
And you said your last contact with Nike was in 2012.
Yeah, 2012. After that, it was all about getting with legals, coming up with a strategy and so forth, this and that. Because at that point, it was like, okay, how we gonna strategize this?
Yeah.
But then when you're going through the blackball period of, okay, you corresponding people, like, you know, you reaching out to folks, and it's like, okay, it looked like it gonna go viral because everything seemed to be coming up. Nobody want to touch the story.
Yeah.
So I get brothers like Gal, you know what I'm saying, a few who I did shows with, you know, first one was Lee Zeller's show here in Cincinnati. First for that was my guy Dart. His crew was first one to interview me.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was Lee Zeller's, and then it was Everyday Sneakerheads with Johnny J and his brother, you know what I'm saying. And then the next one I did was Sneaker Bar Detroit. I went up there.
Yeah.
Retro Talk Forum down in Alabama, and then War Room, was the War Room Women of God, women?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they was down in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? So now, you know, with y'all. But it ain't like nobody don't know.
Yeah.
You know, my thing is like, you don't say nothing. If you a sneakerhead, you want no sneaker history until like your sneaker history. And now something out there is put out there, you don't want to touch it because you getting little candy packages from Nike, a couple pair of sneakers or whatever. I mean,
let's talk a little bit more about the correspondence between you and Nike over the course of how long? How long has it been?
let's see,
We're talking about like
85 up
until 2012.
12.
So what's some more correspondence, some more talk between you and Nike that's been going on throughout the years?
Basically, right now at the 2012, it's just like, you know, basically just pushing out there, you know, the story and the word. You know what I'm saying? Because of, we feel like you want too much money. Like one letter weight at one time, they come out, you know, I said, well, look, give me this amount of money. And, okay, this is September 93. I got the letter at January 1994. I asked for a large sum of money. Unfortunately, we can't pay that due to what we talked about.
Explain that. So who did you talk to about the sum of money that you wanted?
Well, let me start with the letters and make it even better.
Okay, yeah.
85 letter right there.
This is 1985.
I'll let you go ahead and read that. I get all the letters together, and then
I
we
kind
can go
of
from there.
put this where we can see it. But this is addressed to Mr. Basil. Does it matter about this address? Should I blur it out?
Oh, it don't matter.
Anybody still living there?
No, nobody living there. That's old.
Okay. Well, this is the document. Some correspondence from Nike to Mr. Basil Lewis. It says, "Thanks so much for your recent letter and accompanying drawing. We were truly pleased to learn of your enthusiasm for the product, particularly our basketball shoes. More so, however," you know, they throw a lot of words in between commas. Right. "More so, however, we were taken with the ideas and drawings you submitted for our consideration. While we are not in need of any new concepts at the time, we appreciate the work you put into them. You appear to be a very creative and talented individual, Basil, and certainly we wish you the best in pursuit of this. Your degree in commercial art." So they're kind of.
So basically, what they're saying is,
were you already pursuing a degree in art?
I was ready to go off to college.
Okay, so
I gave my background. So basically, what they said
this is the summer before he about to go to college.
And right. It ends with thank you again for writing, Basil.
Thank you again. Now what they're telling you, basically what they're saying is, we're gonna rip you off, young black man.
But I appreciate it.
We appreciate 18 years old, and we're not gonna even acknowledge you. You know,
without the culture, you have no product to sell to the culture.
There you go.
So this is more evidence.
Remember now. The shoe wasn't even out now. That's 85.
Okay, and right? this is coming from a woman named Adrienne Van Bemmel,
who was gone, right?
Who's consumer relations at this time.
Right.
So go ahead.
Now here's your 86, right here.
Okay.
Right.
Now here we have a letter that came with this book that y'all saw earlier, the Nike book. It's the spring 1986 book. This came. You said this came in 1994.
That came together. That's 86.
This is in 86. This says 94 right here.
Is that 94?
Yeah, this is 94.
Oh, my bad.
I want to make sure we get it
around. Flip it around.
Okay, I want to make sure we get it all right.
Yeah, I was going to say they on back.
Because you know when something like this is valid, they try to find any reason to discredit you. So this is the book that came in 86.
They do it, though, man. I wish they do it. They ain't handle their business, man. Well, anyway, go ahead, man.
Okay, let me make sure we all focused up. Okay, and now this is the second letter, right?
Right.
Second letter that's been
later.
A year later.
Make sure you put that in a year later. Now.
A year later, you get another letter that's addressed to him again. Says, "Dear Basil, thank you for your recent letter, poster, and drawing. The time and effort you put into illustration is appreciated. Unfortunately, at this time, we have no openings for a graphic designer at Nike, but we will keep your ideas on file. We will keep your ideas on file.
I ain't write that to myself. Hey, matter of fact, ain't it a stamp up top right there? See
It's
that?
definitely a watermark. It's either embossed.
That's a certified right there at the top.
Look, you can see that.
Certified.
You see Nike right there on the paper. These are original papers. He got them laminated, so it keeps its pristineness. And it also says, thanks again, Basil, for your enthusiasm and interest in Nike and continued success at CTC. Now, this is Linda Kirshner, 1986.
Right after that.
She got fired right after that.
Somewhere, something happened to her.
You see the embossed mark right here? It's lifted off the paper.
I don't know if she got fired. It's hard to say, or something happened.
Something happened.
I can't find them. Trying to look them up though.
So what are you thinking?
It's how the mail that came. The certified mail came through. You see the Nike emblem.
Let's see. Make sure we get it in focus. Bring it a little closer. Yeah. Okay. You can bring it closer still.
It's more official.
Certified at the bottom.
Official information.
You see the Nike postage down here. If you lift it up a little bit and come closer, you can see Beaverton, Oregon. All right, so this is just more of what the letters were
Now this
were mailed
94
in.
you found. Now what does it say on there?
What do you think?
94.
What do you think in '86 before I showed them this?
Huh?
What in '86 you got your second letter? What are
Right.
you thinking now?
Shoot, man, God, I'm happy. You know, Nike reach out to you. You know, maybe it's opportunity just the fact that they acknowledge me. You know, at that
Because
point.
at that point, they ain't came out with the shoe shit. You ain't had no reason to think they was gonna do nothing shiny.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well,
it's
maybe
gonna make me work harder.
Yeah, maybe I get to work for the company later on. You know,
So
I
the
love
shoe
the
is dropped
shoes.
by now, right?
No,
this
The
before
shoe still hasn't dropped.
shoe
Okay,
ain't
okay.
That's why he was like, "Hey, oh, Nike been getting back with me."
Yeah. So you think something is about to happen?
Well,
you think
know,
it's about
I'm
to jump
college,
up your way?
I'm thinking basketball, and I'm they acknowledge me. Maybe if I go ahead and finish school or something, maybe they put me on.
Yeah, you think about a job later.
The whole thing was about me trying to,
Get a job.
right? Company that you love, you playing ball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, Nike, I'm working with them. You know what I'm saying? But even then, because the only thing was hitting that time was the Air Force Ones, and then later on the Jordans.
So Jordan hadn't even dropped his first shoe
The
yet.
Jordan came when he came
out.
in the league in '84.
Oh,
Right,
84.
that's what took it to, them Jordans, Air Force
That's
One,
what started making them
Jordan.
popular.
That's what making them popular.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
That's crazy.
if you look at the 94 on the back, what does that say on there?
At this time, you didn't talk to anybody, any attorneys, anything legal to try
Ain't
to.
nothing happened. The shoe didn't come out yet.
The shoe didn't come out yet,
No,
so you didn't
no.
worry
So
about it.
we 2 years ahead of the game, right?
Right.
Because remember, the shoe came out in 80. Design was done in 85. Tinker said they came up with the ideas in 84. So me and Nike and Tinker Hatfield, we neck to neck 84, 85.
Explain who Tinker Hatfield is.
He's the one said he designed the Air
Design
and so forth and this and that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't hear more about Tinker until later on, until I started getting on the scene. All of a sudden, some young guys put me on, said, this guy coming out like Tinker Hatfield. Why is Tinker coming out all of a sudden? We've been talking about him. So well, we got to do something. We don't come out and say, okay, we can get him for slander, cease and desist. I wish they would.
So Tinker Hatfield is an employee of
He's
Nike.
a designer.
A designer
I don't know
at
if
Nike.
He's retired, but he's...
I'm sure you can look him up though, right?
Yeah, Tinker, he's out there. I think he's still with him, or he's one of the two, somewhere in there. I stopped keeping up with him. I stopped keeping up because he was lying. So,
Right.
He probably could have got far. We don't know. Tink. But anyway, 84, 85, right? Okay. Why you wait till 87 to 88 to come out with the Arab Revolution? Why didn't Tinker them come out with it then in 84, since y'all did it? What went on in 85? We ain't even gonna go 87, right? So why didn't it come out in 85? So if you came to Dynamics, the air bubble, and then I give you a slip. That slip is right there on the side of the shoe. Check this out. The same slip that's right there, to give them the idea to put that in there, because I said an opening for the sole.
That's changing they
You know
to
what's
them.
on there? One of the Air Jordans. Look at the Air Jordans. You'll see that air bubble, or that split right there on the Air Jordan as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The one Air Jordans, that slip is right in there too, with it right there on the Air Jordans.
And it's one of the classic designs because it's like a Air Force One. An Air Force One is it's like 5 shoes that kind of like, okay, we know you from the family of the shoes.
See, what it flipped was, you got the Air Jordan, right? Okay. But then the idea to take their Air Force One and flip it like I did, so it took their engineers to say, okay, let's take this and that, flip that, and compile that what he got. You know what I'm saying? That changed the game there. So the shoe game just changed into a whole custom style after that. You already had customized the Jordan, so I come with the customizing with this idea, flipped it. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said,
They
it even
didn't have no straps and all that stuff.
Right.
It's about they know the strap. The only strap they had, look, they need to keep real. The legend was really is the mother and father of the Air Force One. It just didn't have no strap. Then the Air Force One came, they put a strap on it. But what I did was I doubled up for the support. You know what I'm saying? You know, because we was turning our ankles, you know, playing. So that's what that extra strap was secured about in there.
So you were engineering to make it a better shoe.
At 18.
Because it's more practical because you're the one out here, you're not an executive sitting in the office, you out here playing basketball.
You know what I mean? And I wasn't even a grown man. Just imagine that. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing at 18, like I said, because the stuff we was doing, the music, we was doing stuff some groups wasn't even doing. That's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? So it was like this a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what were the people close to you saying about this?
You mean before then or after?
Like around the same time that the second letter come, what are they saying to you?
They like me, like, dang, you know, you know what I'm saying? We like, oh snap, they was G-Gang Bangs. We young, you know what I'm saying? Like, Nike writing you, you know, they acknowledge you. You know what I'm saying? So it hit me was, like I said, when I got recruited to Burlington Shore, I was recruited to 2 Division I schools off the street. They're in Talladega. And the reason I went up there because I'm a Lynn Bynes fan. I said, I'm going to Maryland. So we go to the mall, me and some of my cats, my teammates, in Salisbury, Maryland. We go to the mall, and where we go to sport, we see them up there. We're like, oh, snap. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like they took that, and you already got the Jordan. There's a whole lot of combination going on. And that's when it just hit my head. Like, I looked at it. That's crazy. Looked at it, and I kept looking like, yo, that's my idea. Yeah. My boy like, yeah, but come on, man. They're really like, no, serious, dude. I kept all my stuff.
So you see the shoe drop.
He in the mall.
You in the mall in college, right? At this time.
College, yeah.
So you walk past the shoe store. In what year is this again?
87.
This is 87. So we're gonna get to this 90.
Which I'm hoping. I said, hey man, maybe we're gonna be wearing these next year. You know what I'm saying? Like we was like, oh man, them tight. I mean, they flipped the game.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh snap. I said, ain't nobody gonna believe me.
Right.
I said, man, when I go on break, I'm gonna show y'all. And then upstairs in the box, all my what we call them, souvenirs and all that. Shoot, you know, I still have a Dr. J when they feel that shit, them dog pictures. I still got them too. But yeah, and there it was. I ran copies off, and I showed them. They was bugged. So the lawyer thing didn't come to. I think I was still in shock. I was young, you know. And what happened was, I actually was blessed because I stayed up there Christmas break because I didn't want to get on that Greyhound bus coming back again. That was horrible. I came home for Thanksgiving, and I got a job downtown Baltimore at the convention because I was registered that year up there, and the guy that was selling cars, I asked him, I said, "This all you do? You sell your cars to me?" He said, "Nah, I'm a lawyer." And I was like, "Oh man!" So I told him what happened. He said, "Did you have a patent?" I said, "What's a patent?"
Right.
He said, "Oh man, it's to protect you." So I was just 18, know nothing about the patent. He was like, "Oh man, if you had that," I said, "Nah." I said, they wrote me twice. He said, "They wrote you twice? What you mean?" Yeah, so they like my stuff they was taking where they couldn't, use it the moment, they would keep it on file. He said, they just gave you a case. Are you kidding me? Do you still? I said, I got all my stuff. He said, do not lose it. They just admitted that they used your stuff. And after that, I got back and finally got one lawyer. That's David Stallard. And when I did the what's called, he wanted me to take the case, and then all of a sudden, I didn't need no money. He told us, you need some money. Oh, we on that? Well, I told him, my dad, like, hey man, it's about to get ugly. You had lawyers turn you down. People that want to do the interview. Oh man, for years I was going through a little blackball process until social media came. You know, so with me corresponding by myself, without a lawyer. With all them these letters they got, they without a lawyer. Until later on, now, you know, I'm done with, you know, the legal people and so forth. But in between time, younger, my uncle asked my mother, he said, who's representing? He said, no, he's representing himself. And they writing him? She said, I don't know what he's saying. So, yeah, that's how I got all those letters. And that right there, that 94,
yeah,
that's the one they thought about paying me off. They want to deny it. There it is right there. I ain't write it. There's on the stamp right up top there, certified.
So again, we see the certified Nike right there. It's like embossed. You can feel it.
Just like velvet.
Man, it feel like America. The thieving of ideas. Thomas M. Horgan, Assistant General Counsel. So you climbing up.
Right.
It's different people writing you these letters.
Right.
It's more important people.
And this the lawyer I had right here, Stallard.
Let me read what this guy sent to you.
Right.
This is 1994. Try to get it. Okay, this is 1994 again. They even addressing you different. Dear Mr. Lewis Jr. Mustafa.
Yeah, I changed my name after that.
I'm
at war.
Right. I am in receipt of your 2 letters of September 1993. Your second letter appears to be a request for a sizable sum of money. How much did you want? How much did you ask him for?
Man, I ain't saying out loud because I might get new friends.
Okay.
But guess what? Put it this way though. I lowballed myself, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad it didn't go through.
Yeah.
Because I took a whole big loss.
Yeah.
Once I got older and it's, you know, learned more about the legal game and a whole bunch of other stuff, I was like, shh, that's when they should have took care of me. Because that wasn't nothing but chump change to them.
Okay, so you sent them an offer. It says your second letter appears to be a request for a sizable sum of money. Nike cannot pay such money. The reasons we cannot pay such money are outlined in our prior correspondence. They never really said anything.
Right.
They just was like, thank you for the idea, your donation.
If you didn't,
Let me just finish it off.
Yeah.
We once again advise you to retain a patent attorney. Jesus. They telling you, man. We also
like this and we'll talk.
we also remain willing to consider any new information you or your attorney can provide us. We prove it. Basically, is what they're saying. Prove it at this point.
At that time, I couldn't. It was hard to get an attorney to represent me when I had that. Right.
Very yours truly, Thomas M. Horgan.
You know, black man matters. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's crazy. They subtly telling you that we have taken your idea. If you would like any, get it in blood. Get a lawyer. All right. So what's happening now? That's crazy.
Right. So I found the one. Deal with it. It's, when he was talking about downhill ski boom.
Oh, and they said that in the letter.
Now, Mr. Stallard, the patent attorney that I had, right? You know, it said we're right on behalf of Mr. Lewis. This was in the 90s, and he said we're right on behalf of Mr. Lewis, who feels strongly that Nike misappropriated his designs and used them in certain Nike shoes without his authorization. Mr. Lewis wrote to you previously about this on May 27, 1988, and you responded to Mr. Lewis' letter for presiding April. Your response broke down certain features of Mr. Lewis' drawing in an attempt to compare, to differentiate each of his separate design features from the related separate design features of the Air Revolution shoe Nike put in the marketplace. Your response was silent on any overall comparison of his designs and combination of features with overall Nike shoe. After considering his drawings and the Nike Revolution shoe, it's clear that the shoe bears an overall remarkable resemblance to the shoe previously disclosed to Nike by Mr. Lewis. It is clear that the overall design of the Nike shoe is much closer to Mr. Lewis' design than to any prior shoe Nike promoted, which we are aware. When viewed with the overall design in mind, it is difficult, if not impossible, to reach any conclusion other than that the Nike shoe constitutes misrepresentation of Mr. Lewis' overall design. And Mr. Lewis would like to discuss settlement of this matter, you know, on a settable basis, you know. So there they go right there.
All right. So this is the lawyer.
Yeah.
This is your lawyer's letter
finished high
to
school.
Nike. Huh?
I'm glad I finished high school. You know, when they're trying to read, man, I might need some readers.
Hey.
Hey,
So
Bob,
he just
you
read
read
this.
Bob, you read the next one. You a little younger. You a smidge younger.
It's always harder when you got pressure and you need to
Nah,
get
man, the
like.
glare and all that. These boys are there, man. Shit, hey, you can read the next one.
But that's the letter that your lawyer sent to Nike. So when is the next correspondence from Nike?
Shoot. Thomas Nagel, 93. He gone.
How much?
The last one was what? 2012.
Yeah. Well,
So it jumped from 90.
the 90s to
Four to
2000. There you go. Bob got it.
So this is 2000 December 21st, 2012.
Before we get there, what is nothing going on in between?
And between that time,
1994 and 2012.
Like, well,
No. Yeah, I was doing other stuff. And
you
then,
wasn't year to year to year to year.
Right.
Yeah, you-
Just trying to find legal help at that time in between then. It was like, you know, you just got this, oh, I used to work for that, oh, I can't do it, or this and that. Like, really?
So what do you think people are scared to take the lawsuit because?
Oh, it was fear, payoff, and discrimination. I'm calling what it is. Fear, you know what I'm saying? Fear, payoff, and discrimination.
So are you feeling like at this time they feel like they lawyers so strong it would take so much money to fight it? And that's why they're not taking it?
I think Styler, David Styler, y'all read later on.
Hold on, I don't want to miss this good information. We're gonna take a short.
This the one that the attorney was talking about when he was trying to use all these, like Bias said, excuses. The ski boot, you know, stability right there. And once again, symbol on there, the certification. But you know, I got a website, you know, it's all on there, we won't see it. Basil, BASIL, and 067 at WordPress.com. So the letters and stuff on there too, and so forth. They want to check it out. So
Yeah, it got some there's some other stuff that he's posted online that we'll probably add and throw in there as well. From the different, because you got like little excerpts of some other stuff when you were speaking too.
right.
So just to show that it's been a crazy uphill battle, and for him to still be doing, you know, still be at it after 35 years, and you figure, you know, y'all could have just, you know what I'm saying? Really, what you think is like, man, you could have doing something, you know, for real, or ended up just employing you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's just like, nah.
It's and you know, they went back to homes and hired 2 white kids. They Kirk Kirtley sent it to me. How you?
They
You know,
hired Nike hired 2 kids from
Yeah,
homes
look it
high
up.
school?
Yeah, it was on River City, the River City News.
Okay.
Now River City News wouldn't even do a story on me. That's what I'm saying about the discrimination thing. And to the kids, much respect for them because it ain't their fault, you know.
Right.
You know, congratulations. But you had a black kid who helped put you on. You couldn't do nothing with him, but then you go come right back to not only my
Same
city,
city.
but the school that I went to.
So you played for your homes.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to Holmes. Just like those 2 kids did. But you go back and, you know, and you put them on, but you don't want to acknowledge me.
Did anybody in like organized sports know about this stuff that was happening with the shoot?
Yeah, my cousin Ron Harper, you know, we talked last time, he was with the Bulls. And I remember he told me to send a package
Well,
up there.
he started with Cleveland, didn't he?
Yeah, but at the time, you know, But that time he was up there in Chicago in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So that's another story with that.
So
You know what I'm
nobody from like coaches, nobody was giving you no advice on this.
saying? No.
So the last correspondence, you said nothing was really happening from 94 to 2013,
12
to 2012.
Yeah. See, what I did in 12 was, I told somebody, I said, I'm writing back. They write me in 2 weeks. They said, babe, you seriously? Yeah. I said, watch this. In 2012, I sent copies of all my stuff. That FedEx, what you seen, they sent all that back with that letter. And that's when I called her.
The final letter.
Yeah.
Let's see that final letter again.
Yeah, and they said she's no longer with the company. Now Ron might dispute that. I don't know, cuz I mean, you know, you're a celebrity now, bro. But you know, hey, it is what it is.
Regardless
Anyway.
if the person is still with the company is who's responsible. It's not the person who's gone.
Right.
You read this already?
Nah, we didn't. The things. That's what I was about to do. That's what I was doing when the train
read,
came
yeah.
by. Yeah.
Remember, man, my eyesight got kind of weak on my illiteracy. Something kicked in. I can't remember. You know.
So this is
trying to read all that.
This letter is 2012, December the 21st, addressed to Mr. Lewis again. Dear Mr. Lewis, this letter is in response to your letter dated December 3rd, 2012 to Nike Incorporated, specifically Mr. Phil Knight. Our prior letters to explain why no misappropriation could have taken place and Nike position regarding all your allegations remain unchanged. So they doubling down on it. They doubling down on it now. If you or your attorney have any questions, we're not going to talk to you. This is how businesses spin you off. They only want to talk to representation.
Well, the time when reached back out to her, she gone. So I had to talk to another guy. He wanted to tell me, well, what's your information? I said, man, look, I don't know you, dude. You ain't get back with me. And everybody has. They along with the company. And you just taking her spot.
If you or your attorney have any questions or have any additional information that I am not aware of, please do not hesitate to contact me. Very yours truly. And now this is Jennifer Yakayama. It was like,
Jennifer, where you at, girl? So I can talk to you. You know.
And that's in 2012.
Yeah, where you at, Jennifer? You know what I'm saying?
Have you checked try to find any of these people who left the company?
Man, I can't find it. I went on Google and everything. You know. I ain't try to reach out to the guy who resigned from him. He's a black guy. I can't remember the guy's name, but it was hard trying to get hold of him.
Yeah. So now that you have social media, have you made any new findings?
Oh man, I tell you what, I'm gonna thank social media. Man, I got a lot of support on social media, even cross seas. You know, and I remember salute to Brother African Caesar, man, on Sneaker Bar Detroit. Up there. And he was the one that took a chance on me. Like, he didn't understand. He said, they number one sneaker podcast in America. He was saying, in the country. And somebody from a podcast sent it to him. And so it's crazy. He said, but no, wrong is wrong. We just promote shoes.
At this particular time, you hate that bad things are going on, but bad things is going on to bring about a good change. Right now, if the right amount of pub could get on this particular thing, they trying to set so many things right. They you know what I'm saying? It could be a thing where, all right, you got to just shut this up. And this Black Lives Matter type thing or whatever is going on. Everybody is trying to assimilate every corporation. All these different all the sports teams, everybody is trying to get what they say on the right side of history. You know what I mean? Trying to,
Nike keeps some of my stuff. I hit them up, man. I be hitting back and forth with them on their website, Twitter, the whole 9 yards. So they already know. I'm like, how you gonna you support Black Lives Matter in Juneteenth, and you can't acknowledge the black man up there with your company and say, okay, since you about that, let's do justice with this brother, like he said. So I reached out to Kaepernick several times. You know what I'm saying? Salute, bro. What you doing? This and that. Hey, you know, can you? Since you done shut him down to Betsy Ross flag, and you know, it went dormant. You know what I'm saying? Hit him again. You know what I'm saying? Yo, bro. You know, hey. But you can't depend on certain people because you don't know after a while what's the agenda. And then he's got a contract with them. So I respect business is business. But see, to me like this, when we is part of the movement, you part of the movement, it's like this. You about justice and just for your people, it's like, hey, yo, y'all talking about Black Lives Matter and Juneteenth in the black community.
So the Black
like
Pocket.
you said, take care of this brother right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this
he helped revolutionize some stuff in your company. You know it. Why? If that was the case, they ain't came out and said nothing. Why? You know, because they already know this thing would go blast if they mentioned to him out. Well, we gonna sue him.
And how many other people can come out and say that Nike stole? I'm sure it's a gang of people that they didn't stole designs from.
You got to have your stuff and back it up. Patent, copyrights, and proof. You know what I'm saying? Somebody admitting you got stuff that we used it or whatever. Man, that's a case. And then they tell me, well, you know, these things, statute of limitations. Statute of limitation like this. Anytime they bring a product back out, it starts a case all over again. See, that's another game they try to run too with all that. You know what I'm saying? Because something like this, whatever, proof is right there. So if you're really about the black community and so forth, do the right thing then. You about justice.
Did they ever re-release the shoe?
Yeah, it's been back on the market. Matter of fact, it's another one. That revolution sky high for the women. Now, that came out, what, I think 2012, 13, when I found that out.
It was almost like they were celebrating you getting back in touch with them.
Yeah, I think took it granted, like I was gone, dead, or whatever, or, you know, whatever case. It's like, come on. Let's go on a talk show. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you know, I'll call them out. You know how to get a hold of me. You know what I'm saying? So why should I have to go through all that? I got legal people. We ready to sit down. Make them go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the money, all that going back and forth. For what? Do the right thing. Black Lives Matter, don't it? You know what I'm saying? We kneeling for this and that, for justice. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be like, sir, the image of Black Lives Mattering is what matters.
Right.
As long as we made a post. We made a post. What do you want from us?
Well, you pimping the people. And I'm evidence right here, so I guess I ain't black. What am I? Asian or something? What? You know, what? Russian? I mean, what?
They ain't got, you know, the way they laws and everything, so they don't even have to adhere to black.
Every time they change, they move the finish line.
Right.
I mean, because everything that they wrote about, all men created equal. They was talking about them. They didn't even say men and women.
You weren't considered a man at that time. You considered three-fifths of a man.
And they put that term black on us. They put the term black on. We didn't come over and say, "Oh, we black people." That's not what was coming out of our mouth.
Right.
They put that color on us to have us in a certain thing. Like Chinese people are not yellow. Indians are not red. You know what I'm saying? But
you got to have a jersey color.
Put these different things on it, and then they're not white.
See, you know, the intellect part is this.
Right,
You can say, "Oh, they is so smart, man. Dang, dude, smart." And then they say, "Where you live at?" United States of America. Now you look up the word United. What does it mean? Together, right? Now, what makes sense if your IQ that high, we live in the divided states of America. Everybody ain't on the same page here. We see that now. What's going on?
There's always been a civil war.
There's always been a civil war. You know what I'm saying? On all fashions, all levels. They say, well, what about, you know, Black Lives Matter? Okay, we know about the police. We didn't got that established. What about what's going on the streets? Can we mix it up? Combat is, if you got a sniper up here, shoot it down here, you gonna try to get both of them. You don't just say, oh, we know it's gonna stick with the sniper. And then he get you down here. So guess what? He get you down there, it don't mean nothing.
Man, drop your Instagram one more time, or how people can get in touch with you.
Everything's Basil Lewis. Yeah, everything's Basil Lewis.
So
Twitter is Basil Dink Lewis.
Make sure y'all check out his story, man. There's other podcasts out there about it. We definitely want to shine the light on it today. Appreciate you, Mr. Lewis. Your story is very interesting. And Yeah, man, it's time. A lot of people trying to set stuff straight, so I think this is a prime time for you to get what you deserve. The correspondence back and forth is proving that just how it escalated, and now they pretty much telling you to bring an attorney or else. I think it's real interesting, man. I want you to keep spreading your word about it. You can check him out on his Instagram at Basil Lewis, BASILLEWIS. Basil Dink Lewis on Twitter. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, put on Nike's best friend. I tell them that all the time too. You know, they love me, man. They just don't know how to show it, man. I mean, like, dang, man. Maybe I should do like Cap got me a Kuta Kinte shirt, man. You know, shoot, you know.
You might have to run up, man.
Huh?
You might have to pull up on him.
Yeah, I might have to pull up on him.
Put some pressure on him.
At the very least, if he never gets just due from Nike, whatever, hopefully his story will get enough attention to where it will inform another young person to follow these steps, get your patent, get your this and that. Sometimes we be the sacrificial lamb for things that we think we feel we should get, and maybe we don't get it from them, but you get rewarded in many other different ways. Like he still has been rewarded in his life, just in spite of the fact that he didn't get his chips from Nike. You know what I'm saying? So it's a situation that needs to be the spotlight needs to be shined on, just for learning purposes at the very least, for somebody else coming behind us. And then at the same time, he still is a success story in his life. So it ain't a thing where he lost his mind and became a drunk or was on any drugs because he couldn't take the pain from it. Now he stayed strong and still continued on with his life. He's a professional master barber, all that, you know what I mean? So a lot of people in the city of Cincinnati know him as the barber, you know what I mean? Very, very successful barber. So
talk about what else you got going on right now.
This
tell them where you cut at too. We got to make sure we
I cut it. Yeah, man, I cut at Blaze Barbershop, 1442 Section Road.
Okay.
You can reach me at 513-602-7092. That's in Cincinnati, Ohio. Area code is 45237. Bounce off what he said though. Like I said about the pavement earlier, things happen for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't meant for that time. You get to see a whole lot of things that I learned over time, right? And one of the things to me is you can't be bitter. Even in combat, remain humble. That's one of the strategies or the war, or Buddhism or whatever, so forth. But the whole thing is, to educate younger people. Like a lot of these younger people who doing custom shoes, they the truth. But they taking stuff from them, start hiring them and taking their stuff around with. One kid, he been hitting me up where he's showing what he's doing, the Jordans, and he go back, they coming out looking like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that message out there, and I said last show, man, protect yourself. Because what they're doing is, the millennials have changed the game. You know what I'm saying? They freestylers. You know what I'm saying? They like flower children out here. You know what I'm saying? So their way of thinking is different, and they artistic. They really artistic. So they didn't flip the whole shoe game with the colors. Like I told somebody, I said, they're going to come out eventually with light shoes. That's what I want to do, design some light shoes. And it was Ed Meatball, say, what you mean? I said, what does a lot of people wear when their feet are tired? They put on what? Flip-flops and footies, or flip-flops. You see what I'm saying? Because when your feet comfortable, your body becomes comfortable. Yeah. You relax. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you get home, you kicking off them shoes. You know what I'm saying? So now you see a lot of shoes like Puma. Puma came out with the comfort, bro. They got the memory foam in them.
Yeah.
A lot of shoes coming out looking like socks.
Yeah, look at this. I mean,
I got some. Yeah. I got some.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the memory foam, man. You know what I'm saying? These the Pumas, but they so comfortable, man. It's like, and like I told them, I said, they gonna come out with another design for Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? I said, y'all heard it from me in the barbershop. Same people I'm talking to, A&B Barnell. So now I'm saying that they coming out with the protest shoes,
Mm-hmm.
where they've been on fire on the front because they was burning shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So them are coming out to protest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about marketing. What do you do when they call it a riot and it's really anarchy? When you got a whole planet protesting, racist places protest. Hazard, Kentucky. We here in Kentucky. We ain't never going Hazard. Dating back then, I know the N-word was flying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when they say, well, we say nigga because of this. No, you didn't grow up. You know what I'm saying? You didn't grow up in that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't grow up in that situation, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you around predominantly blacks, you know what I'm saying? You comfortable with it, right? But if you go somewhere and you doing a whole bunch of racism and then you call nigga all the time, your whole mentality gonna be different. You're gonna be like, oh, okay. So that's like Willie D was talking with Spears, Regan,
Mm-hmm.
and you know the word he said, why you know, he was asking Willie D, why you don't, you know what I'm saying, about the word nigga body. He said, man, look, I don't wanna be called out my name, period. But King is more addressable. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, because when, you know, we address ourselves properly, you know what I'm saying, that's not the energy, that's self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? So, but we use words where, you know, people, what they comfortable with. You know, I can adapt either way, because I understand where we at it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's the whole concept behind that energy, because when we over here, man, this side of town here, but like I said, anytime you turn to police stations, police cars, municipal buildings, I guess the president go down the bunker, global, dude, that's anarchy.
Yeah.
These kids change their game. It's frustrated. You know what I'm saying? The police brutality going on. Floyd was the last straw. You're on house arrest because of the COVID-19, or the COVID 2020, which one you want to call it, all right? You lied about when that came out, what's going on. Then you take away people's habits. And they already smart. We thinking they like this. And then they can't play basketball on the court.
You don't have the ability to make money.
You know what I'm saying? You lose your job when you're supposed to just be off because of protection. They say, no, you ain't got a job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These stimulus income, the unemployment. Now they done raised up like somebody just, what's mentoring candidate, like somebody just clicked on the switch everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, God dang. So what they do, they expect that to happen. It backfired. So what they got now is, ooh, Black Lives Matter. Corporation like, hey, let's go with Juneteenth. Man. You just now put out Juneteenth?
Right.
Before you had Martin Luther King's holiday, it should have been a civil rights holiday. That takes care of all that. King's birthday, Malcolm's birthday, Marcus Garvey's birthday, the list goes on, all of them, whoever's birthday, what they did in history, the whole 9 yards. You got 4th of July, but you ain't got a civil rights holiday? Be honest with, hey, these people have built this country.
I'm just now learning that Memorial Day was a day celebrated because that's where the old soldiers pulled people who had died out of the ground and gave them a proper burial, a proper memorial. And it was black soldiers that was doing it.
Right.
Crazy.
Look up Harlem, what they call them, freedom fighters? The military that helped America with France. Bring tears to your eyes where they treated them. No love. So many soldiers come back with no love. You know, like this whole thing about the kneel and disrupt the flag. First of all, if I kneel to you or him, that's honor. What they do to the king?
Yeah.
All right? Them brothers are sitting on the bench like this. Whose idea was it to do in the first place? White military guy. Ain't nobody talking about. He was on the team, the Green Beret. He want to talk about, hey man, won't y'all kneel? That's more disrespectful sitting on the bench. So won't y'all kneel? So, you know what I'm saying? So, hand in hand with that whole situation, where they want to give it credit, but I'm just saying, like,
Man,
America always wants you to love
let
they
me tell
hate.
you.